Hello there. It is MLS Week 11. We are the Designated Pundits, and we're here today to make some great sportsbook picks, talk about some of the best bets you can get for many MLS matches. This is, May 1st. We have a really great week ahead of us, MLS Week 11. Let's get into it. I'm Bob, here today with Scott and Dion. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, doing good.
Ready to make some picks? I personally found it very, very difficult. I liked everything I saw, then I liked nothing I saw. I was kind of going back and forth between wanting to bet on everything, so I had to pull it back in, make sure I had some even home and away odds. I feel like there are a lot of home teams with really good plus money numbers, and there were some really good away teams. It's one of those weeks we really got to selectively pick. I think there are only 4 matches we're not talking about. Otherwise, we have official plays in all the rest. Guys, ready to get into it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. First, a quick recap of Week 10, kind of a mixed result bag, but we ended up being in the positive as a group. Thanks a lot to Scott. So plus 1.59 unit getting off the bench and into the winning column there. Plus 0.42 units. As a total on the 2025 season, 88 and 85 on 173 wagers. That puts us at plus 9.36 units. A lot of those plus money plays carrying us. Let's head into the first Week 11 matchup. We start with Atlanta United hosting Nashville SC. Atlanta coming off of 3 straight losses, all of which were shutouts, getting outscored 7-1 in that span, in the last 4, I'm sure they're happy to be home. Nashville FC, recently up and down, winning at home, losing on the road. So let's take a look at the odds that we have here. The odds are going to show us that Atlanta United are plus 105, Nashville plus 230 to win, and the draw is at plus 250. Over-under on 2.5 goals, minus 160 to the over, plus 130 to the under. And this one we have 3 official plays, myself, Scott, and Alex, who's not here tonight. Scott, why don't you take us away?
All right. So I don't like Atlanta. This is how Alex would definitely start it. I don't like Atlanta. Atlanta's bad, right? And I'm with him there. Atlanta's showing a not very good defense, showing not very good offense. Their expected goals, a lot conceded and generated, are all in the wrong direction. Nashville, in the meantime, Nashville's having kind of a good moment. They actually do have one of the best XG totals in the league. So this is actually one of the few road games that I really wanted to pick this week. Kind of picking on Atlanta, who just don't really have it right now, but it's good odds for Nashville. I have Nashville double chance and over 1.5 goals at minus 130.
I like that play quite a bit. Mine is going to be similar here, except I'm just taking Nashville on the draw no bet at plus 135. We're getting a really nice number here on Atlanta, and they're just really nice to pick on. What you see there, minus 125 to the over on a goal and a half. Not what I've seen. Not what I've seen at all. And I've made fun of New England Revolution a lot, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. But I tweeted out today, I'm less worried about New England Revolution's offense. They're bad, but they have a plan. They have a cohesive attack. Atlanta, I don't know what they're doing. They have a great group of players. I can't bet on them. I have nothing here. Dion, this is your team.
It is, and I hate hearing all this, but it's all true. They do. They just look like they're dumbfounded out there. Terrible defense, terrible offense. You think that we'd be one of the top scoring teams in the league with the players that we have up top, and there's no direction. I kind of like how you said with the Revs, like they have like an attack, they have a goal, they have a good system, but Atlanta, it's all over the place.
They have Dion speechless, but they don't have us speechless. We have official plays. Nashville draw no bet plus 135. Nashville on the double chance and over a goal and a half minus 130. And Alex, Nashville, draw no bet at plus 135. Got some comments here, so let's pull them up. I know Atlanta's defense isn't good, but Guzan, does he have it anymore? This is really tough for me because generally older players lose it as the season goes on with the wear and tear. But Guzan played his best ball in the playoffs last year. So what the heck do I know? I know Father Time is undefeated, and it will be gone. Is it gone yet? Maybe.
I think Guzan's one, like, some days he'll be like, yeah, over it. He's done. It's over. And then he'll come back and he'll, impress you, and you'll be like, oh, he's got more left in the tank. I think we're going to be riding the roller coaster with him a little bit this season.
Yeah. And being a goalie is a thankless job anyway.
Oh, at the best of times.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that his defense just leaves him hanging to dry.
Yeah, it's hard to make stops whenever you're one-on-one with the ball carrier.
That is fair. Atlanta also is missing some players in the backfield. Gregerson, Williams. I mean, their two best defenders were out for a while. So we don't know yet, but we will find out very soon. Let's move on now. Next matchup is going to be 4:30 on Saturday at BMO Field. Toronto hosts Charlotte in Toronto's second straight home match. They also played midweek in the Canadian Cup in a match that went to PKs 2-2 with Montreal. I think Montreal moved on in penalty shootouts. Revs coming off 3 straight wins, all of them shutouts, brings the record of 4-1-4 on the young season. Let's take a little look here at the odds. You have TFC plus 125 to win, Revolution plus 220 to win, and the draw is at plus 220. Also, over-under on 2.5 goals, plus 106 to the over, and minus 128 to the under. One official play here, and it's by me. Does anyone care to weigh in?
I wanted to take an under on this game so bad. And, at minus 128, it was kind of there. I just had a 130 pick, right? But I was just thinking both of these teams have a couple of players that have a little bit of magic. Carlos Hill still has some magic. Insigne's on this team. Bernadeschi's on this team for Toronto. There was a part of me that I was like, oh, man, like, you're be sitting at like 2 goals, and then like they give up a penalty or Carlos Hill hit a PK or a free kick or something like that, and you'll lose it. And so I couldn't do it.
Well, I found a way to bet the under, and that is on the both teams to score no, of which I am taking it at plus 100. My sports betting model, which we've been working on a lot, getting those AI numbers and getting all the formulas set up with my own sliders to adjust player availability and team form. I have both teams to score is at 35.57%. Both teams to score no, 64.43%. That is a great number for both teams to score no. I'm getting like 15% almost over what the sportsbook is giving me at even money, projecting it's a 50-50 shot either way. I like this even better than a team total under because Toronto can get shut out or New England can get shut out. I don't care as long as it's someone. Dion, you seem to like this bet a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I almost went with the under 2.5 because both teams, Toronto's only averaging less than a goal at home, and the Revs are averaging less than a goal on the road. So, I mean, I really could see this being one that ends 0-0 or 1-0. So, yes, both teams to not score. I like that too.
Both of these teams have kind of sneaky good defenses too, by the way. They don't concede a ton of goals.
Yeah, Toronto has not been getting blown out in these matches. They're not good, but they're losing, by a goal here and there. Revolution, it was their offense that didn't score a goal until week 7, from the run of play. It was all penalties before that. So they're in a good run of form, but that could end really quickly. I think this is going to be kind of a cagey match. I think there's actually an edge to the Revolution in this one. That's the team if I was betting them straight up. I hate to say it, but I do have them as home favorites here. I couldn't bet that because I don't have the trust, but I can bet that maybe they shut Toronto out and take a 1-0 win. That's certainly within the realm of possibilities here. Let's move along now. Columbus Crew. They bounced back with a home win last week after losing at home to Miami the previous week. This is their 3rd straight home game. FC Cincinnati coming off an unexpected 1-0 loss at the home of the Revolution. They were the better team, more shots, more everything. Just a little bit of unluckiness there. Let's check the odds first here. We have Columbus minus 145, heavy home favorite. Charlotte at plus 350. Plus 350 for a team that has 6 wins and 3 losses on the season. That just shows how heavy their home advantage is. And the draw is sitting at plus 290. One official play here by Alex, who's not here to support his decision. But Dion, you're from the dirty South. You know, I know you're an Atlanta fan. I know you guys are kind of rivals with Charlotte. I would love to see Atlanta play really, really offensive and play really well and kind of spark a little rivalry there. Tell us what you think here.
That plus 350 actually looks pretty good. I know that Columbus is very good at home, but this Charlotte team, I think that last week was a one-off, especially with them being at home at Bank of America Stadium with the Revs winning on that free kick that was very odd of a free kick. But I like that 350, but I don't know if I could go all in on it because I think the Crew are too good at home. I think Crew will win this match.
I do too, and so does Alex. Columbus Crew is actually playing a little better on the road than at home, but that place has been a fortress for forever. Charlotte, 2.5 points per game at home, as opposed to 1 point per game away. There might be a draw here. Alex isn't seeing it. He's taking Crew and both teams to score at plus 225, thinking that Pep BL miss was a little bit of an aberration and that they're going to get back on the scorecard this week. I do support this play. It is a long odds play, but I think the plus 225 for Crew at home and just another team to score seems like we're getting a really good price here, so I do back that play. Going back to the chat here, yeah, Toronto is really bad with only 1 win, Adam. Abner checking up saying keep up the good work, and Soccer Sharps, our buddies over there, if you like talking EPL, they're also part of the Hooligan Network, saying Bobby and Nerdy Soccer Guy together, Team Hooligan Unite. Yeah, it's been like that all season, man. You guys should peek in more often. We're some smart dudes on this channel. Head over to Inter Miami. They're hosting Red Bull. Inter Miami lost their first of the season last week with a 3-4 home loss to Dallas. Now, they've lost twice midweek, but those are CONCACAF games. They are now eliminated by Vancouver. Red Bulls in a bit of a scoring rut. No wins, 2 draws, 2 losses on the road this season. Let's take a look at the odds, which are going to be heavy in Miami's favor. Minus 165 home favorites, and the Red Bulls plus 420. Draw is at plus 290. I actually want to hop to the team totals here. Miami over under a goal and a half. Minus 170 for over a goal and a half against a pretty good Red Bulls defense. Plus 134 for the under. Red Bulls over 1.5 goals. Plus 230. If you were making a pro Red Bull play, you could take them to win. You could take them on the draw no bet. You could take them on the double chance at a really good price. You could take them on over a goal and a half at plus 230. I think those are all pretty good plays because, bias aside, this is a really good team, and they're getting odds as if they're San Jose or Sporting KC. I don't think that's the case. Alex had the official play here. Does anyone else have a lean that they'd like to discuss?
This one was tough, man. It's really tough. This Miami team is... this Miami team is a little bit hard to get a beat on right now for me. They're not the free-flowing, free-scoring Miami team of last season. They aren't also the Miami team whose defense was so suspect, but still didn't give up any goals last season.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part. And then Red Bull too. Red Bull have too much talent to be not scoring the way they're not scoring, and they have too much talent for their defense to be where it is. They still only concede a little less than a goal a game, but there's just like opportunity there that didn't used to be there. And it's hard to put that into the stat sheet and stuff like that. I agree with Alex. I think this is a Miami win, but I think it's going to be really complicated. I don't think it's going to be a straightforward thing. And that was ultimately why I couldn't find a pick in this one I liked.
The chat right now is disagreeing with you. They said Miami's going to destroy Red Bull, and a prediction 5-1. I disagree.
I think
Alex,
Abner has a bias, though, if I had to guess.
Alex is taking Inter Miami at minus 155. We'll have to recheck those odds because it seems to be walking every time I log into the sports book here. But Alex, yeah, his official play is he's taking Inter Miami on the negative number. I just don't have Inter Miami to be that heavy of a negative. You need to be like a 60% favorite. I don't think that's the case. I think Red Bull have a little. If they play this game 10 times, yeah, Red Bull wins 1-0 once or twice, and yeah, maybe Miami does blow us out 5-1 a couple times. That is certainly within the realm of possibility. If you look at last year, Red Bull beat Miami and then got their pants knocked off the next time. Just depends on who shows up, where the rotation happens in this one. I'm staying away. I promise I was not betting on Red Bull for a couple weeks now. Got to get that homer flushed out and got to get the recalibration settings here. Inter Miami minus 155. Now, this is a game that I've gone back and forth with on my sportsbook all day. Right before I added it back into one of my official plays. Montreal, they're winless at home after losing. They're still winless on the season after losing 1-0 to Red Bull in New Jersey last week. Now they have their third home match of the season, hosting the Philadelphia Union. Philly hot with a second 3-0 win on the back of a 3-game skid in April. So it looks like they're back in form, back scoring goals, looking fantastic again. We talked about them in our weekly recap show this week. Let's take a look at the odds here. You have CF Montreal plus 155, the Philadelphia Union plus 165, draw at plus 220. Official play is only me. Anyone else have anything to add?
Boy, this Montreal team is bad. They're really bad. And you know what they really lack though is that they lack that difference maker. They lack somebody that just has a little bit of magic. You watch Cincinnati sometimes. Cincinnati's got, a lot of good players, but not too many difference makers. And then even when things are going bad, like Evander will just score a goal. Just because he'll just get he'll get a little burst of energy and go score a goal. Montreal doesn't have anybody in that league. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do agree. I think they're quite mediocre on the week, on the season. They don't have anything. My official play here, I actually have to go to the scorecard here because I erased it. Over 2.5 goals, minus 108. Philadelphia has been good. I know they got 2 straight shutouts, but that's not the team they are. That's not the team they were. I think that they could still put them in the back of the net. And to get over under at minus 108, I just like it. I know what they're thinking, and it's that Montreal needs to go over 1.5 goals. That's not the case. Montreal can score 1, and Philadelphia can score 1.5 goals. I'm not taking crazy odds because they're almost even if you like either squad. I like them 155, 165. Montreal off to a very difficult start. I don't care. I'm divesting from the conclusion. Just give me 2.5 goals. Dion, you like that bet?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I didn't have an official bet on this game, but yeah, I think I could see this going 2.5 goals, like a 2-1. I could even see this being another Philadelphia 3-0 victory. I mean, I can't really say anything positive about Montreal. They are just bad this season. They haven't even scored at home yet in the their first 2 matches. So, yeah, I think Philadelphia, this should be an easy win for them, but I definitely see 2.5 goals for sure in this one.
I like it a lot because CF Montreal has actually underperformed their XG by a lot. They should have scored a lot. However, you can boil it down. Are they underperforming the XG because of bad luck, or is it because they don't have finishers? Well, when I look at this squad, I could give open nets to some of these players, and they're gonna miss every time. It's a lack of skill. So I don't take the XG differential as a big issue in luck. I think they're just not acute at scoring, putting the ball in the net. This, I believe, is the last bet that I am the only one. So you guys got to listen to me talk just a few more minutes, and I promise we're getting to the good stuff where Scott gets to be in, and Dion, your favorite guys here. Austin, 8:30 Q2 Stadium. They host Minnesota United. Austin back home after taking a 2-0 loss at the hands of rival Houston Dynamo. Not the way I saw that match going. Minnesota is also fresh off a loss to the Vancouver Whitecaps. When we look at the bets here, Austin plus 145 to win, Minnesota plus 170, and the draw at plus 230. Any way you want it, you're getting a good price here. Over under 2.5 goals, plus 106 over, minus 128 under. Before I give my official play, gentlemen, do we have a lean anywhere?
Lean Austin. Really don't like what Minnesota has showed us in the last few weeks, especially defensively. But if they are tight defensively, there's quite a bit about Austin's offense that doesn't really enthuse me. So, but I would lean Austin.
I like this because it's giving me 7% over the implied probability on the bet. Plus 145 is actually flung all the way up to plus 150 when I made the bet. I'm getting about 7% on what Sportsbook's offerings here. So, you got to take some home teams sometime. You got to diversify your scorecard. And there were a couple of plus 150 plays right in the middle of the Sportsbook here. Montreal was one of them. Austin's another one. I needed to pick one. Austin is the one that I project to be scoring, to be putting up more goals than their opponent. That usually equals a win. This is my John Madden moment of the episode. In order to beat the other team, you got to score more points. We know how the game soccer goes. One official play on this one. Austin FC plus 150. I'm glad I entertained Dion. I made him laugh once. That I could retire from the comedy business now. Moving on to Dion's first only official play. Chicago Fire hosting Orlando City. This is 8:30 Soldier Field on Saturday. Despite a 3-3-4 record, Chicago's still looking for their first home win. They have 3 draws and 1 loss at home so far. Orlando on a nice little 3-win, 4-draw, 0-loss stretch, unbeaten in 7. Take a look at the odds before I let Dion take this one away. We are going to be getting Chicago Fire plus 145, Orlando City plus 165, and the draw at plus 240. Over 2.5 goals, minus 130 to the over, plus 112 to the under. When you look either team, you can get them at over 1.5 goals at plus money. We love to see that. If you think one of them is going to put 2 in the back of the net, this could be one of your plays. Dion, please make me stop talking.
Yeah, so for this one, I went with Chicago Fire double chance and over 2.5 at plus 140. I just think, hopefully the Fire don't get destroyed like they did last week. They let 7 goals up. They were on the road. But no, I think that both of these teams can score. And I think that, Orlando, yes, they had that skid where they went 3 matches without scoring anything. But then last week, unfortunately, against my Atlanta United, they scored 3. I think that this team can score goals, and I think that also Chicago can. And I just think that I really think Fire can win this one, because I think they're going to bounce back from that 7-2 defeat against Nashville. So I had to go with the 2.5 over, but I couldn't pick if Chicago could win or if it will end in a draw. So that's why I went with the double chance.
I know Berhalter's kind of one of those coaches, like a show me something kind of guy. And I'm kind of wondering if that loss wasn't as big a blowout as it was just like, okay, it doesn't matter. We lost week. We might as well lose by 10. Go show me something, get something on film. I don't know that for a fact. I'm hoping that's what the case was.
There's a ton of coaches who have that sort of mentality at halftime. Like, look, guys, it's over, but let's go out and win this half, or let's go out and do something. It was 5-0 at halftime, and second half is a 2-2 game. So I wouldn't be surprised if that message was in there. Dion, I really like where your head's at. I think this is an emotional moment for Chicago to come and bounce back, to do something. Lucas is over here saying Orlando easy, Chicago are frauds.
That is a comment in every video we've posted. You can go back 10 weeks, and Lucas is in every one of our videos saying Chicago are frauds.
I don't know about that. We'll see. At the end of the season, do they win or lose more games? But I would have looked, I think, Dion, if I were picking on this one, I would have looked to dice it a little differently. Maybe like both teams to score and no draw. That's plus 135 right now.
I would just go, if you like them, Chicago over 1.5 goals plus 112. Yeah. Put 2 in the back of the net. Show me something, Zinkernagel, and let's take a walk.
And I know that they've yet to win at home, but I think
it's got to happen.
It has to happen sometime. So
I like where your head's at, though.
I do. 2-1 official play. Dion Fire and over 2.5 goals at plus 140. heading to Snapdragon Stadium. This is Saturday, 9:15. It's a weird kickoff. It's not the late game, but it's not, it's just enough to mess up your 8:30 game that you're watching when you peek in here. San Diego on a 3-game skid, losing 3 after starting 2025 with a 4-2-1 record. FC Dallas, an unlikely 4-3 defeat of Miami after scoring just 1 goal in the previous 3 matches. A little offensive explosion at the right time carried FC Dallas there. San Diego FC, minus 145. Heavy home favorites, FC Dallas, plus 280, and the draw is at plus 270. Over under 2.5 goals, minus 136 for over 2.5 goals, and plus 112 if you like the under on 2.5 goals. Myself, Scott, and Dion all have official plays in this match, and for one of the first times this season, they go against each other. So I'm going to go with this. Dion, you go first. Then Scott can go, and then I'll settle it.
Sounds good. So for me in this one, I went Dallas double chance at 105 plus 105. This form that San Diego's in right now, I couldn't get along with them. I couldn't go along with them on that. But Dallas, I mean, they have to be riding a high after that victory in Miami. But they look pretty decent on the road. They haven't lost on the road. So I had to go with them with a double chance just because of the form that they're in compared to the form that San Diego is in.
I totally get you. Look, Dallas's road form is actually really good. They're best in the West road form. San Diego on a 3-game skid. 2 of those games on the road, though. One of them against a pretty good Colorado team, where they definitely put up a fight, and then one in Charlotte. You know what Charlotte can be like at home. So I don't put too much stock into that necessarily. Dallas has had plenty of their own ups and downs this season, and I think San Diego finally getting a couple of games at home, it's a good time for them to bounce back. It's a good time for them to reset. They certainly, they don't strike me as a team in any way that is bad. They are still putting up good expected goal numbers. The only thing that they've got is they are letting in too many goals right now. So I'm choosing San Diego to win this at home. Got to choose a home team at some point, and I've got over 1.5 goals scored. I think, for sure the way that these two teams are both scoring and conceding, that we're definitely going to have some goals in this game. That's plus 105.
Yeah, I am agreeing with almost everything you're saying, and because of that, I'm drawing a different conclusion than you are. And I'm just taking FC Dallas and the draw because it's at plus money. I mean that's what it is. I have San Diego as having a 40% chance to win, 40.5, exactly 40.5. That means there's a 60 or 59.5% chance that there's another result, and I'm getting it for better than even money. This is a maths cap. I don't even want to talk about the players or anything we're seeing here. FC Dallas traditionally awful on the road, so I'm going to mix in a draw there. I don't hate the San Diego pick either. I think you're getting a good enough price on that. The official plays here, Bob and Dion on the double chance, plus 105. Scott on the San Diego and over 1.5 goals, plus 105. Either way, we're dropping a unit here somewhere or picking up a unit here, or maybe Scott's negating us from completely going off the rails. We will check back on Monday on our live show to see what happens here. Finally, going to San Jose. This is at PayPal Park, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, like a proper West Coast game should be. Quakes up and down this season, currently dropping 3 straight. Timbers getting healthy, looking to extend their 7-game unbeaten streak. Let's take a little look at the odds here because the odds are going to tell us a whole different story. San Jose Earthquakes, minus 105 home favorites. Portland, plus 270 on the road. I get it. They're traditionally a very good home team, but it's a different Portland this year. Portland plus 240 if you favor them outright on the draw, plus 260. Heavy over on 2.5 goals, minus 215. We really should have displayed the total numbers for 3.5 goals here. There is 3 official plays for this, Bob, Scott, and Dion. Let's go to Dion first.
Yeah, so in this one, I went with Portland draw no bet at 140, and kind of like the other game, just the form that San Jose is in just doesn't sit well with me. And I think Portland, I mean, just say 7-match unbeaten streak right now. I mean, I only have the last 5. So, the last 5 unbeaten, they're looking really good right now. And I had to go with that. And a little cop out if it does end up in a draw with the draw no bet. Don't lose any money on that. But yeah, I got to put my favorite into Portland, even though I like San Jose because of Joseph Martinez. Hopefully he gets on the scoreboard. I have to throw that out there. But yeah, I went with Portland in this one.
It always comes back to Atlanta. All roads lead back to Atlanta. Just don't tell Sherman that.
I like where your head's at. I certainly could lean Portland here. That Quakes defense is super unreliable. And I quite like the pieces to Portland's offense. Speaking of offense, both of these teams have it. Portland has scored 20 goals this season. San Jose has scored 20 goals this season. San Jose has conceded 19 goals this season. Portland has conceded 15 goals this season. Bob, I know this is where your head's at. The thing here is these are two teams that they score and concede fairly freely. So I took the over 3.5. It's plus 115. Give me goals.
You'll see I got it a slightly worse number a little earlier in the week, plus 112. But hey, if you're going to walk it in my direction, I will take that all day long. For the record, I have applied my metrics from my betting model here. And if you are getting them at plus 115, you are getting them at a 11.74% advantage on what the sportsbook implied percentage is based on my model here. It is what it is. Give me 4 goals. Hey, Lucas wants to say 3-1 Portland. Cool. I win. And Dion wins, and Scott wins. I generally consider overs to be favorable home bets. Usually overs pair nicely with the home team scoring a lot of goals, while unders are like upsets, maybe, a KG match where the away team gets a play. So I just kind of like where that is right now. Adam picking back in, plus money to score twice too. Wow, might be running with that. Yeah, there's a lot of really good plays here. And the assumption here is that San Jose kind of wakes up and, hey, listen, that's why I bet the total and not Portland. I love to bet Portland. I think it's a great number, and I will be sprinkling that. I'll be looking at the goal scorers in this match to sprinkle a little of that too. But San Jose just has this aura about them. They're just unpredictable enough. So for that reason, I'm just going to take this straight over, not worry about the result. 3 pro Portland plays here. Let's move now to Seattle, currently 2-2-0 at home. No losses in their first 4 at Lumen Field this year. St. Louis City finally remembered how to score last week, but drew 2-2 in LA. Taking a quick look at the odds here, we have Seattle minus 230 to win, St. Louis plus 550. That is the heaviest road number of the week. And the draw even is at plus 340. Like, we're not even considering that there's, a low-scoring KG match here. Over under 2.5 goals, minus 125 for over 2.5 goals. And when we look at the team totals here, San Jose over 1.5 goals, minus 160, while Portland's over. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong sheet here. Seattle's over under of 1.5 goals, minus 180 to the over. We're all expecting that. St. Louis over under on 0.5 goals, minus 146 to the over. So they're not even getting a full goal and a half. They're not even getting that respect out of the sports book. One official play here is by Dion. Take it away.
Yeah, so in this one, I didn't pick a winner. I went with under 2.5 goals. I have, 105 is what it, well, I think it's 104 on your thing. Whenever I did it, it was 105, so it just went down a little bit. But I just think that I know that Seattle is averaging about 2.5 goals at home. I just think that St. Louis, they have a good defense this season. And then I believe it just came out Morris is out now for like 6 weeks for Seattle, or has he been out? Yeah. I can't remember.
He was out and came back. That's a good question.
He gone.
Is he?
Yeah, they're having all kinds of issues over there now.
Yeah. So anyway,
Ooh, Ferreira's questionable.
yeah. So they are averaging that 2.5 goals, but if they're having that many injuries, I think, and St. Louis's defense, again, I agree with that. I don't think that St. Louis are going to really score. If they do, it's just going to be one. So I think that I like the odds of that 105 at under 2.5.
I like that a lot as a play here, under 2.5 goals. I do notice that Jackson Reagan's going to be out for this one too. Yeah, Reagan, Morris, and Arriola obviously all out. Ferreira questionable. St. Louis has some issues on defense, and that's probably the one reason I'm not going to jump on this full-throated with you. I do like Sounders, but without Reagan, they got Kim Keehee in there. Not really what I'm looking for. Wallum is still questionable for St. Louis. I just can't play this. I do like the under of 2.5 goals. There's just enough that I'm going to need to wait to see it on Saturday night, see what the odds come out to be. Checking back in the chat, we have Angus. Even if Seattle plays in St. Louis, they win. Despite St. Louis scoring 2 goals last weekend, I'm not convinced. That makes 4 of us, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
For the last official play of this match day, Sporting KC is hosting the LA Galaxy. Sporting KC fell to FC Cincinnati, ending a little warm spell where they won 2 out of 3 mysteriously in the middle of April. There's still 2 wins, 1 draw, 7 losses with 7 losses on the season. Don't forget that US Open Cup, the CONCACAF disaster at the beginning of the season too. LA Galaxy, they're looking for their first win of 2025. They are 0 wins, 3 draws, and 7 losses thus far. And this could be a really interesting matchup. I know myself and Alex have some official plays on here. You can have Sporting KC minus 105 to win, LA Galaxy plus 250. In the draw at plus 250. I'm less intrigued by all this as much as I am by the Joveljic revenge game narrative. Maybe he puts one in the back, and then I'll have to kind of highlight that in the sportsbook to take a little look at later in the week. Someone else take it away.
What do you want, Kansas City, I'm a little surprised, honestly, that Kansas City are slight home favorites. I would throw this one up as like a toss-up. Alex was saying the other day after we finished recording, the Galaxy have to win sometime. They've got to win sometime. And he was saying, why not now? Why not today? Why not this game against Kansas City? And Alex still thinks Kansas City's, not very good. Not sure I disagree with him there.
Yeah, it's a lot. But seeing guys on LA Galaxy, first of all, Paint still getting healthy, back on the squad. Royce contributing, scoring goals. I think it was like back-to-back weeks, if not 2 out of the last 3 matches, even off the bench. They're showing that they can be competitive in soccer games, which is more than we've seen from them. There are 2 official plays, myself and Alex. Alex is going to take the LA Galaxy on the double chance. Galaxy winner draw at minus 135. That is a huge number. I took one another route. I think Galaxy can score twice. I think SKC is given up enough this season that the Galaxy can put 2 goals in the back of the net. And if that happens, I'm divorced from the outcome. I don't care what happens. So Galaxy team total over 1.5 is plus 162. Still a huge number for a team with so much talent. It's like, I think of them like Atlanta. Like, put it together, guys. You have so much on this roster. I know Christian Ramirez isn't the same as Joveljic, but you got Peck, you have Paint Sill. Marco Royce has been stepping up. You have guys like Yamane who can contribute from the back, put an assist in there. We've seen a lot of play from the midfield, Lepley, Winder. It's just they have a lot going on. And for that reason, is it so incredibly off to see them say that they can't score twice? Dion, could they score twice? The answer is yes, they could score twice.
They could score twice in this one. I mean, Sporting Kansas City, they are allowing 2.2 goals against there at home. So, yeah, I mean, I could see Galaxy scoring 2, but I could also see Sporting Kansas City putting up that kind of numbers too against the Galaxy because they're allowing 1.6 there on the road. So I could see it. I'm with you on that one.
Kansas City have conceded 21 goals on the season. That's terrible.
The Galaxy's 20.
The Galaxy have conceded 20. That's terrible. So
But
Abner's
that
over here
plays to
taking
the
over.
narrative. Like if we're gonna go on an over,
If
that
you're
would
gonna do
be
Yeah, that's exactly
maybe
what you want.
SKC wins 3-2.
I think my concern is that the Galaxy have only scored 8 goals all season. They've
So
got
they're due.
maybe they're due, but there's a dysfunction, I think, in that offensive unit. There's a lot of talent.
They scored
But-
2 last weekend.
Yeah. That's like a quarter of their whole goals for the season. That's, they maybe it's in the midfield. Maybe this is it, where you see that the gap that is Ricky Pooch, right? That they're not getting the ball reliably into the right zones or whatever. Peck is in the wrong place with the ball. Paintsil's in the wrong place with the ball, and so the talent is not in the right place with the ball. I don't know. I don't have necessarily the answer for that, but I think I'd be worried about that.
Yeah, I think we all are worried about that. I think that is a huge bone of contention all season long, and I think we're going to continue to talk about that. However, they won MLS Cup last year. There's a little bit of a hangover. We know they're missing a lot. They were forced to sell a lot of their top pieces. Joveljic left. We're talking about the midfield getting worked with Puig, Brugman, all these guys leaving the squad. But look at SKC's midfield, and I think you kind of see a little parity there. I think that Galaxy can control that part of the field. And again, I'm not asking for a whole lot. I'm asking for a goal and a half at plus 162, which is a huge number here. Alex going a little differently, taking LA Galaxy on the double chance at plus 135. Gentlemen, that concludes our Week 11 picks. Any final thoughts before we close it up for the night?
No, I'm good.
All good.
You guys gotta get something like canned, like just like, hey guys, have a great weekend out there. Like we gotta, nothing. No, okay.
Have fun out there, guys. Have fun out there.
Have a great weekend.
Get some oranges at halftime.
There you go. Don't pull a hammy reaching for these SKC picks. Have a great one. Goodbye.